Hey, what's up everybody? This is Travis, going to give you another web development or web design tutorial. And I'm going to be doing a project on my gym website, but before I do that, and that's if I get good viewership on it, I wanted to show you something in between time. If you notice this box up top here, it tells me my width and height, and if I adjust, it adjusts automatically. So if I adjust my window, it adjusts the width and the height. Well, I can adjust the height if I want to, if I were to do this or something. And if you might be thinking, well, why, Travis, would I need that? Well, if I ever want to make media queries and I want my items on my screen to resize a certain way, I want to be able to know what the width is to make an impact. So this program I created helps determine the web developer the width of the website, so that way you can make media queries without having to go through the console log or whatever. So I'm going to show you exactly how I made that, and so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is what it looks like, but I'm going to go ahead and delete all this. Alright, so what I did is I made a file called windowsize.js. You can name it whatever you want. That's just what I named it. Now, to make something like this, first you want to start with a function. I want to give it a function called getWinSize, standing for get window size. I don't want any arguments, not necessary. And I'm going to start creating my variables. So var element equals document.getElement by ID. And simply put, I'm just going to write down the ID that I want to assign it to. Now, this ID does not exist yet, but it will soon. And I'm going to call it window size output, if I can spell. Okay, I can name it whatever I want. Next thing I want to do is I want to do a new div, var new div, and I'm going to say document dot create element, there it is, create element, and I'm going to create a div tag. Okay, with that new div, the new div I just created, I'm going to give it an ID, so it's just .id. That's strange how this thing doesn't show all of them, but that's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and give it an ID of, you guys could probably guess it, window size output. Make sure it's the same thing. Whatever you named it here needs to be the same thing up here. So both have to match. Okay, so now that I did all that, I need to append this to the body. So I say document.body.append child. And I don't know why it's not showing up automatically. That's kind of crazy, but anyway, .append child. And what you're trying to you want to append the window thing there. So you want to put new div. Alright, so far you have the element that you're creating, you're giving it a name, and you're appending it to the body. But that's not all. Now we also need to, I want to create an if statement here. If element, so basically if the element is showing, is basically what that means, then I want to be able to remove it so that way it doesn't keep on appending. So I'm going to say element dot parent node dot remove child. Yeah, I was trying to think what it was called. Remove child, and we're going to remove the element. Okay, so it's going to look for the element, and once it finds it, it's going to go ahead and remove it. And I did something wrong here. Element dot parent node. Oh, I put an L at the end. Oh, that's weird. I meant to put a semicolon. Okay. So now after that, we could go ahead and move on to some more better things here. Now I'm going to start giving things the width and the height, and this is the part that we can determine the width from. Now that I got all that out of the way. So I'm going to say var w equals, this is going to be for the width. So, or var wd equals window.inner width. Window.inner width. I'm going to do the same thing for height. Now you don't have to do height, because really all you need to do is the width, but hey, it's easy to throw that in there. So window dot inner height, very simple. And next thing you want to do is you want to give us another display here. You don't have to do this next part here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call element one more time, and I'm going to give it a null value. You don't have to do that, but it's to save memory. You certainly don't have to do that. But again, like I said, it's to save memory, and it's to make things flow a little bit easier here. Okay, so I'm going to say var display equals, and now I'm going to assign, see, element used to be assigned to this, but since I gave it a null value, I'm going to assign a brand new variable to it. So equals document dot get element by ID, oops, and it's going to be window size output, same thing, just like so. There might be little conflicts if you were to do it with element, so that's why I'm doing it with a different variable. And plus, since I gave it a null value, even if I didn't, though, it would give some conflicts. So that's pretty simple. And now I want to do some stuff with display. I need to give it some attributes, some style attributes, so that way it shows up. So I need to put display dot style dot background color, and I want it to be white. And I'm going to have to do display dot style dot let's see, not height. I want it to be about 40 pixels. Display dot style dot width. This is the same thing as doing CSS, and I'm going to show you this later on in the Firebug tool. And the width I want to be 100 pixels. If I can spell. Okay, I want this to be. Alright, next thing is position display dot style dot position, and I want that to be fixed position. And let's see, I'm trying to think what else do I need. And why is it giving me some errors here? Display dot style dot width equals 100 pixels. Huh, that's interesting. I'll have to figure that out here in a minute. Alright, display dot style. Let's see, what else do I need? Let's see, got position. I'm probably going to need, I need my left attributes, that's right. I don't have to do this, but I don't want all the way up to the top. So I'm going to say 10 pixels, and I'm going to do the same thing for the top position. Display dot top display dot style dot top equals 10 pixels. And I know why it's giving me an error, because for some reason I must have deleted my ending tag for my function. I don't remember doing that, but whatever. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to be able to display. So basically, I have a box right now. Now I need to display the information that this variable has. In order to do that, I need to use display again dot inner HTML equals, and I want in quotations width followed by whatever the width is, which is whatever this is going to give me, plus I want the or plus, pixels, that way people know what it is. And I'm going to do the same thing with height. Oops. Height. And I'm going to say plus height plus pixels. And you're pretty much done. The only thing you need now is you want to be able to call this function whatever website you're trying to do. In my case, I want to be able to, the one last step I want to do is, well actually, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and save this and I'm going to show you what happens. Now, it's not going to load right away, but the first time I resize, then it'll show it. I'm going to show you how it can load right away, but I don't want to do that right now because I want to show what it looks like right now. So, okay, so I have everything done. The only thing I need to do is I need to call this function on here. And I already have it on here because I didn't delete it. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to your body tag, and you're going to put on resize equals whatever the name of the function was. If you guys remember, I named it get win size. So whatever the name of the function is, and then I got to be able to call this because this is a separate JS file. In fact, if you were to look at I have a JS folder here, and inside there is window size. So I'm calling an external file script. So I also need to place it up here as well. As you can see, I'm calling it up here, which is why the HTML knows exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so everything is good. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and it should work. It won't show up initially, but I'll fix that. Like I said, it doesn't show up initially, but once I start resizing, bam, it shows up. Now there's a little bit wrong here because I got to fix the positioning here. Not the positioning, but the I got to fix a little bit stuff here. But anyways, it shows up here. I'm going to go ahead and fix some of the styling here. I kind of messed up. Let me go back to window. I need to go to width. Let's see. I need to go width plus, and I could go a plus a BR tag, I guess. Plus a BR tag. We'll try that. Save, reload. That probably will look a little bit better. I may need to resize it. Okay, now if I were to fix this, okay, good, now it works. Okay, so you have the width here, and it shows it's 1056 pixels, and it moves along, and it gives you the real-time data. So if I want to go ahead and make some media queries, it'll work out. However, if you notice, when I first start it, it doesn't show up. So I need to initialize it. So I'm going to add one more piece of code on here. It's not necessary, but if you want this to show up when you first start the website, then you need to put this in here. The code is it's an event listener, and I'm listening for the DOM content to load. So as soon as the DOM loads, that's when I want to run this function. Okay, and basically what it is document dot add event listener. Add event, and by the way, this is brand new. They just added this in JavaScript. I'm so glad they did, because the old way, there's a lot of code you had to write. So this makes things so nice. Anyways, you would type in DOM content loaded, just like so, and then you want to go ahead and fire off a function. You want to make sure you have it function like so, and inside there you want to put these French curly braces again, and you want to be able to call the function that you named. In my case, it's get win size, and you can see it's already there, just like so. And if I want to put a thing at the end, I can do that too. Okay, so now when I save it and I reload it, bam, now it shows up right away. Let's see if it resizes and I get real-time data, and I sure do. Okay, so guys, it's really simple. Let me go ahead and put it back in full size. It shows up. If I go down, it shows up. So this is perfect for what, if I want to go ahead and make media queries now, I'm able to do that. So again, just to kind of reiterate what's happening here, we're making a function here called getWinSize. We're making we're creating an element that's a div. We're assigning it window size output. I'm appending it to the body. I'm getting the inner width and inner height of it. I'm placing the element back at null because I don't want to use that anymore. Assigning a new variable to the same thing, as you can see. I'm giving it some style attributes. I'm displaying the information so you can actually see it, and I'm calling the add event listener DOM content loaded in order to get it to load right away as soon as I start the website. Now let me go ahead and show you guys what exactly is happening in the browser. Let me start Firebug here. Okay, as you can see, I got body.onResize get win size, just like it is. Okay, and if you notice, it automatically adds window size output. It also adds a div on here, which is kind of cool. So when I go and for example, if I reload, as you can see, it just changed the information. If you look, this is kind of bad. Let me go ahead and bring this down a little bit. Let me open this up. Okay, if you look, you'll notice that it's giving me my information, the width and the height. So if I go ahead and style this or open this up more, as you can see, it's 1209 310, and it's automatically placing that information on my website. Let me go ahead and load this back up. You can see it's all placed in the same information. So again, very helpful for media queries. If you guys want the code, I'm going to go ahead and place it on here for you guys to copy. So just pause the video, copy the code. You can use it for whatever. And of course, once you're done adding your media queries, and all you do is delete. Then after you're done with your media queries, of course, then you'd go back to your HTML, and you would just simply delete this because you won't need it anymore. So, okay. Anyways, this is Travis. I hope this has been helpful. Again, this is to help understand the window size in real time, so it's easy to make media queries later on in your CSS. So with that, this is Travis signing out. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.